That's my angry face. That's the face I use when I battle people on Wi-Fi. And here I have a battle against ninjanonymous. And this is a battle I had on my stream, so I'm using Funsy Pokes. And even though you see me lead off with Polytoad with his rain, his whorish rain and all that, there is a reason behind this. You'll see it later in the battle, so if you watch the battle, you'll see the reason. I just focus blast because I was not thinking. I forgot that Skarmory was also part flying, so it wouldn't have been super effective, and I was better off if I used Hydro Pump because of the rain. It would have boosted it, and I have to switch because of that, because I'm spexed, and I go into my Milotic because I love Milotic, and he ends up switching it to Chansey, and I don't like dealing with Chansey, so I figure I'm gonna Toxic it because, I hate Chansey, and because they're hard to get rid of, especially now with the Evo Stone, and he ends up Toxicing me too, which gives me Marvel Scale boost, although I don't think that matters in this match much, but it boosts my defense by 50%, and I send in my Tyranitar, dual weather team, hell yeah, and he goes for the Seismic Toss, because I can't really do anything to Chansey with my Milotic, so I switch into Tyranitar, and Tyranitar has superpower, so I figure I can scare it out and go for the Stealth Rock, so I can set up rocks in case he wants to do a lot of switching during the match. It's going to help wear down his team, and I don't want to deal with Skarmories, I don't want to deal with Chanseys, and that's just going to help me in the long run. And Tyranitar goes for Fire Blast. Luckily I carry Fire Blast. Unfortunately, it does hit, but it doesn't quite kill it because I guess the Skarmory has some special defense invested in it, and he's able to roost off the damage because my Seismitoad is slower. Unfortunately here, I didn't realize that I forgot that when you roost, you lose your flying type ability, so he would have roosted and been a pure steel type, and I would have been able to hit it with the bulldoze, but instead I decided to switch because I completely forgot that. Just like went past my head, and I go into Polytoad. I figure, I'm gonna spam some Hydro Pump, and I go for a Hydro Pump, and Chansey takes a good amount of damage from it. Thankfully, because I'm able to hit it with two hits. See, Stealth Rock damage helped there. Without the Stealth Rock damage, I probably wouldn't have killed Chansey, and they would have softballed. And I decided to go back into my Milotic. However, this was also a poor play on my part. Not because he goes for Substitute, but because Ferrothorn is especially bulky, especially defensive, and going into my Milotic was a poor choice. I figured I could have Ice Beamed. For some reason, the fact that I had a Tyranitar just completely went by my head. And right now, I'm stuck in this situation with a sub. So I need to get rid of the sub first, which is going to take 2 turns of Ice Beam to hit. That's first. And I have to... Meanwhile, he's Protect Stalling me, and I'm dying to Poison. So I really need to just get rid of the sub first. That's just going to be one less thing for me to deal with. Even though he's probably going to set up another sub after that. And as I get rid of his sub, he Leech Seeds, which I need to get out of there now because the Leech Seed damage and the Poison damage are just going to rack up. And I need to get Milotic out of there because I could possibly save it for later. So now I realize that I have Tyranitar with Fire Blast, right? And he sets up his Substitute, so I'm hoping that Fire Blast hits. I know it'll take out the sub, however, I'm not sure if after I take out the sub, it would kill it because Ferrothorn can live mad intense hits. Unfortunately, my first Fire Blast hits. It misses, and he Gyro Balls me for super effective damage. I know that I could take the super effective Gyro Ball because I have some defense in here, and Tyranitar is just a pro boss like that. I get rid of... No, I don't. Not yet. I Fire Blast, I get rid of the sub now. And he's gonna gyro ball me again, but I think I live this hit too, and no, I don't live this hit, because it was a crit. If it wasn't a critical hit, I would have lived it, and I would have been able to Fire Blast Pharaoh Thorn next turn. So I send in my Garchomp, because my Garchomp also carries Flamethrower. I think this one is mixed, or this one is special, as opposed to the normal Swords Dance, Outrage, or Dragon Claw Earthquake set. And I get rid of his Skarmory, so that's one more annoying defensive poke that I have to not deal with anymore. And he sends in his Latios. I know he's gonna go for Draco Meteor, he's not gonna overpredict, but I don't want to keep Garchomp around because I don't really have a safe switch in here. I don't think I carried any steel type pokes on me in this round. And with the minus special, he's at -2 right now, unless he actually has specs, which he probably does. I'm just gonna go for an Ice Beam, don't want to overpredict. I get a Freeze, which makes it doesn't really matter right now because I'm gonna outspeed and kill it with another Ice Beam, so the Freeze is irrelevant. But he sends in his Latios again, and this time I definitely want to save Politoed because Politoed carries Rain. Rain is essential in this team right now for what I'm planning to do later on. So I'm gonna go sacrifice my Lodic, let my Lodic take the hit, and he's at -2 right now, and since Rain is up and I have a Swift Swim FEEBAS, I'm like, go FEEBAS! I wanted that to kill so bad, especially after the first Draco Meteor missed. I was so pumped for FEEBAS to get a kill and just represent. Unfortunately, one thing I forgot to put on this FEEBAS was specs. If I put specs on this FEEBAS, it would have gotten the kill. Oh my god. That would have been the best thing ever. But I accidentally put leftovers as opposed to specs. And the final move is probably... No, I'm going to kill it with a Hydro Pump. Since I'm stuck, I think I have Politoed left and Seismitoad left. I have a lot of Pokemon. I have a lot of water Pokemon. So, as Politoed's last move, I'm just going to Hydro Pump everything. And since I'm spexed, that's going to do a lot of damage to anything that comes in, including this Hippowdon. He gets to set up Sand because he wants to send in Excadrill, which is going to outspeed me now that Sand is up, and he has Sand Rush. I think it's Sand Rush or Sand Force. I'm pretty sure it's Sand Rush. And so it's up to Seismitoad's match here. Can it live? It can live. It lived. But what's his name? Excadrill cannot survive. It almost killed. I was so pumped. This match was so close. I had so much fun battling here. It was a really close match. Look at that. It was almost a draw. Anyway, comment, rate, sub. I love you guys. Peace.